Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Puddles and today I'm going to be talking about encounter building. I think it's about time that we started talking about terrain. So putting obstacles or things on the map that the players can use in combat. Often when you're on a like an advice thread or something on Reddit, people are often saying a very quick and easy way to make combat more interactive and more interesting is to add terrain. So we're just going to go through a quick video here on how we can do that and why it adds to the combat. So first, we have this map. So let's imagine that we're on a grassy plain. There are no trees anywhere. There's no muddy patches. It's just easy to get through grass. And our party walk upon these skeleton people with their zombie friends and their undead rats. Now, what are the options for the players? Essentially, all they can do when combat starts is to move and fight. So that's basically what's going to happen. The players are going to move towards the creatures. Some of them might move away to attack from range. But strategically, that's all they can really do with the map. They can move closer and attack or move away and attack. If they wanted to, they could try run away as well. But that's all that they can do. There's no layers. There's nothing else that the map gives them. So that's all that they can do, which is pretty basic and easy to understand. So what happens if we add a couple of things to the map? So let's go to the second one instead of the third one. So in this map, imagine we're in a forest instead of a grassy plain. There are trees now on the map. And everything else it's easily traversed. So how does this change the combat? So you still have the movement. You can still move wherever you want. You still have, obviously, the combat. So you can go closer and attack with your melee weapons, or you can move further away and attack with your ranged. However, now we have trees. So the players or even the creatures that would like to take cover to defend from ranged attacks can do so. You can also hide behind the trees. So characters like the rogue now can use their cunning action to hide if they want behind a tree. And it just gives the players way more options and gives you, the DM, more options with what your creatures can do. So I think cover is the easiest and most basic thing that you can add to a map that will change the dynamics. So now, instead of all of these creatures running towards each other and just clashing in the middle and then just swinging at each other until one side dies, there's more dynamics. The two skeletons, they could go hide behind this tree for cover from the wizard and the rogue. The rogue could sneak around the back over this side and hide behind this tree and then go in for a sneak attack. The two fighters might split up, one going behind each tree, because maybe they can't make it to combat on their first turn, so they're going to hide behind a tree just to get that boost of AC. So just by adding one element, which is things that the players can hide behind, you're adding a level to the dynamics of the fight itself, and the interaction with the map is a lot more. And all you've done is just add a couple of trees, which is basically the simplest thing that you can do to a map. And it just opens up the players and the creatures more options for them. It just opens up more options that they can do as opposed to just running and attacking. And the third example, just in the basics here, we're going to add a little ridge. So we still have the trees for cover, but as you can see in the middle of the map, there is now like a rocky outcrop, which I'm going to consider as difficult terrain for this. So same groups on either side. You still have the movement. You can still fight, however you want to do that. You have the cover from the trees, which you can hide behind, but now there is this difficult terrain element. So the players and your creatures have to think about how they are going to move now. It's not just free movement everywhere. There are parts of the map which are harder to traverse. And depending how you want to do that, will depend on what the creatures and your players do. So I've made a little choke here so that if the players or the creatures want to move quickly through this, they can, but it gives the fighters the chance to block it. Say if they roll high initiative and the 2 fighters come here, they've blocked this. So now the weaker players are more protected. There's a choke point here, and the creatures can't get through. And if the creatures do want to get through, they're going to be slowed down by this difficult terrain. So if this zombie wants to go this way, he's gonna walk here, and then find this ridge, and he's gonna have half movement as he's walking through that. So with difficult terrain, how that works is if for every 5 feet you move, you actually take 10 feet from your speed. So it takes you twice as long to get through it. And it can be used in many different ways. This is just a simple example of how adding that will add dynamics. So instead of the creatures just charging across, they might want to move through this little choke. Or they will just mindlessly charge through it because they're zombies. Or it could be an opportunity if the players think that they are outnumbered. Maybe they could try to block off this choke with a rock or something as they try to escape, and the creatures following them are slowed down by this ridge. So just adding these elements like cover and difficult terrain will really spice up your combat. It'll give the players way more options in what they can do with their turn, especially with their movement. Often, if there's no terrain, movement is just moving towards the creature or away from them. If they've got places to hide or places on the map which lower movement, they have to think about that before they actually take their action. And it adds a little bit more of another layer that the fight can take. You have to think about more things rather than just running and swinging your sword at something. But yeah, I'm going to make a couple more videos on terrain. This is just the basics, the 2 things that are the easiest to put into your maps, which make a big difference compared to not having them at all. So look forward to those videos. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.